In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Peace be upon you, O mourners of Husayn. Peace be upon you, O followers of Zaynab. Peace be upon you, O witness to the return. Today is Arbaeen, the 40th day, not of silence, but of survival, not of despair, but of defiant remembrance, not of death, but of the revival of Wilayah. We welcome you to the Truth Promoters Group Day of Arbaeen 2025 program. As with Ashura, this program will contain no commentary, only sacred remembrance, unfolding as a sequence of spiritual experiences, curated to honor those who returned to Karbala and those who never left it in spirit. Let your homes become husayniyyahs. Let your tears become your ziyarah. Let your hearts echo the footsteps of the captives. We begin with the Adhaan of Dhuhr, as heard from Karbala itself. It is a call not only to prayer, but to presence. Following the Adhaan, we will witness a dramatized portrayal of the prayer of love, as performed by Imam Husayn and his companions on the battlefield. A moment taken from episode 11, titled Panacea, of the epic Iranian series Mokhtarnameh. It is a reminder that even as arrows flew and death loomed, Husayn stood facing God, not the enemy.
ابن زلجوشن، من هم موافق عقب نشینیم. سرورم حسین قصد نماز کرده. مصلحت بدانید موقتا ترک جنگ کنیم. هم من به نمازم میرسم، هم شما نفسی چاق میکنید.
ابن غی، دوباره به میدان بیاری خودم گلویت را میدارم، گردن کلفتت را میشکنم.
کاش یک بار مردانگی کنی و پای حرفت بیستی. من بعد از نماز به شوق جنگ با تو به میدان میایم. خلف وعده کنی سگ کمتری.
زهیر حصار نیزه ها و شمشیرها را شکست و مثل پروانه آمد تا در نماز عشق بال و پر بسوزاند. گویا مقدر زهیر بود که نماز آن روزش را در ملکوت به رسول خدا اقتدا کند.
قباحت دارد شمر، پسر این هنوز یک کتازی می کند. به معجزه شبیه تر از تاب جنگ. بی پدر پوست نهنگ دارد و زور فیل. نهیب می کند، لشکریان خودشان را خراب می کنند. پسر این انگوش کوچک حسین است. با هاشمیان چه می کنی که بازوهای پولادین حسینند؟ با عباس ابن علی. حتما عباس به میدان بیاید همه با دیدنش زهره می ترکانید. بعید نیست. جگر شیر میخواهد با عباس ابن علی رو در رو شود. مسافتم بتم کافی است. جنگ را مغلوبه کنید، با همه لشکر به خیمه هم نور شوید و شر حسین را بخوابانید. فی‌الحال حسین قصد نماز کرده. میخواهد جنگ را تعطیل کنیم تا نمازشان را بخوانند. بخواند شمر، بخواند. بعد از نماز کارش را بساز.
واقعا میخواهید اجازه دهید حسین نماز بخواند؟
نماز واجب شرعی است پسرم. نمیتوانیم مانع ادای فریضه واجب شویم.
پس جنگ را باخته اید.
چطور؟
این جماعت به قتال حسین آمدند، چون فکر میکنند حسین کافر است و از دین خارج شده. وقتی ببینند حسین به خاطر خواندن نماز جنگ را ترک کرده، میفهمند که فریب خوردند.
عجب نظر پخته‌ای. اینطور نیست شمر؟ خب البته نظر آقازاده بسیار ظریف است و دقیق. بعید نیست حسین میخواهد با این کار کوفیان خفته را بیدار کند. پس نباید اجازه دهیم حسین نماز بخواند. نه؟ چه عرض کنم؟ شما امیرید و ما سرباز. نه شمر، نه. مانع نمازشان شوید.
زهیر پای از زمین کنده بود. برای رفتن به میدان مثل کودکی بود که برای مادر آغوش باز کرده. بعد از نماز در حالی که سخت تشنه بود و زخمی به میدان شد.
We now transition to a visual recounting of the sermons delivered in the court of Yazid, taken from the series Mawkeb al-Abidin. You will witness the sermon of Sayyidah Zaynab, peace be upon her, a sermon that shattered the palace with truth. The sermon of Imam Zayn al-Abidin, peace be upon him, who, despite chains and exhaustion, declared the identity of Ahlulbayt in the face of distortion. These sermons are not historical speeches. They are eternal warnings. They are tabi'in, divine clarification in action.
لقيت بخيك يا حسين. ما كنت أظن أن أبا عبد الله قد بلغ هذا السن، فإذا شعره ورأسه قد نصلا من الخضاب الأسود.
أتنكت في رأس الحسين؟ والله لقد أخذت عصاك في ثغره مأخذا لطالما رأيت رسول الله يقبله. أما إنك يا يزيد تجيء يوم القيامة وشفيعك ابن زياد، ويجيء هؤلاء وشفيعهم رسول الله. الويل لك يا يزيد، الويل لك يا يزيد، الويل لك يا يزيد، الويل لك يا يزيد.
يا علي، إن أباك هو الذي قطع رحمي وجهل حقي ونازعني سلطاني، فصنع الله به ما رأيت.
ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبرأها. إن ذلك على الله يسير، لكي لا تأسوا على ما فاتكم ولا تفرحوا بما آتاكم، والله لا يحب كل مختال فخور.
ما أصابكم من مصيبة فبما كسبت أيديكم.
كان هذا في حق من ظلم لا في حق من ظلم.
ليت أشياخي ببدر شهدوا جزع الخزرج من وقع الأسل، لأهلوا واستهلوا فرحا ثم قالوا يا يزيد لا تشل. قد قتلنا القرم من ساداتهم وعدلناه ببدر فاعتدل. لعبت هاشم بالملك، لعبت هاشم بالملك، فلا خبر جاء ولا وحي نزل، ولا وحي نزل. ثم ترتجون لو لم يقتل الحسين.
وكيف يرتجى حفيد آكلة كبد الحمزة؟ كيف يرتجى أكلة أكباد الأزكياء؟ كيف؟ وكيف يرتجى من نبت لحمه من دماء الشهداء؟ وكيف يستبطئ في كرهنا أهل البيت من نظر إلينا بالبغض والعداء؟ ثم تقول غير متأثم ولا مستعظم، لا أهلوا واستهلوا فرحا ثم قالوا يا يزيد لا تشل. وأنت تنحني على ثنايا أبي عبد الله سيد شباب أهل الجنة، تنكتها بمخصرتك. ما أجرأك على الله وما أقبحك.
نكأة بدر بنكأة كربلاء.
إي والله، فقد نكأت القرحة واستأصلت الشأفة بإراقتك دماء ذرية محمد ونجوم الأرض من آل عبد المطلب، فما عدت أستعظم هتافك لأشياخك الجاهليين تدعوهم. فوالله يا يزيد لتردن وشيكا موردهم، ولتودن أنك شللت وبكمت، ولم تكن قلت ما قلت وفعلت ما فعلت.
اسكتي، أفرى الله جلدتك كما أفرى جلدة أخيك.
ما فريت إلا جلدك ولا حززت إلا لحمك، ولتردن على رسول الله بما تحملت من سفك دماء ذريته وانتهكت من حرمته في عطرته، حيث يجمع الله شملهم ويلم شعثهم ويأخذ بحقوقهم. ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا، بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون.
حسبنا بالسيف حاكما بيننا وبينكم، فقد عز السلام بيننا.
وحسبنا بالله حاكما وبمحمد خصيما وبجبرائيل ظهيرا، وسيعلم من سول لك ومكنك من رقاب المسلمين أينا شر مكانا وأضعف جندا.
يا صيحة تحمد من صوائح، ما أهون الموت على النوائح. هل ترون ماذا كان سيفعل إمبراطور الروم لو أن امرأة تخاطبه بمثل ما تخاطبني به؟ هذه المرأة أما كان يأمر بصلبها؟
لقد جرت علي الدواهي مخاطبتك، وإني أستصغر قدرك وأستعظم تقريعك وأستكثر توبيخك، لكن العيون عبرة والصدور حرة. فالعجب كل العجب لقتل حزب الله النجباء بحزب الشيطان الطلقاء. ولئن اتخذت المغنمة لتجدن وشيكا مغرمة، حيث لا تجد إلا ما قدمت يداك، وما ربك بظلام للعبيد.
أقسم لألحقنك بأخيك.
مولاي، لئن قتلتها انقلب الأمر عليك وتألب الناس ضدك وصار الأمر إلى غير ما تحب.
سحقا لها، والله لأكيدنهم كيدا ما كاده سلطان برعية.
لسنا برعيتك، فكد كيدك واسعى سعيك وانصب جهدك يا يزيد، فوالله لا تمحو ذكرنا ولا تميت وحينا ولا يسقط عنك عار ما فعلت. فما رأيك إلا فند، وأيامك إلا عدد، وما جمعك إلا بدد. يوم ينادي المنادي ألا لعنة الله على الظالمين.
أسكتوها، أسكت الله لسانها، أسكتوها.
اهدئي يا عم، فوالله قد أفهمت ما عز على عالم إفهامه.
هب لي تلك الفتاة يا مولاي، أسومها سوء العذاب لتستقيم لطاعتك يا مولاي.
كذبت ولا أمت، ما ذاك لك ولا لأميرك.
يكون ذلك لي ولو شئت لدفعت بك إليه.
كلا والله ما جعل لك ذلك إلا أن تخرج من ملتنا وتدين بغير ديننا، وما أظنك إلا كذلك، فلما لا تعلن ذلك أمام الناس؟
إنما خرج من الدين أبوك وأخوك.
بدين الله ودين أبي وجدي اهتديت أنت وأبوك إن كنت مسلما.
كذبت يا عدوة الله.
عدوة الله؟ والله ما أنت إلا أمير مسلط تشتم ظلما وتقهر بسلطانك. ولا يحسبن الذين كفروا أنما نملي لهم خير لأنفسهم، إنما نملي لهم ليزدادوا إثما ولهم عذاب مهين. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
لقد أعطينا 6 وفضلنا ب7. أعطينا العلم والحلم والسماحة والفصاحة والشجاعة والمحبة في قلوب المؤمنين، وفضلنا بأن منا النبي المختار ومنا الصديق ومنا الطيار ومنا أسد الله وأسد رسوله، ومنا سبطا هذه الأمة، ومنا مهديها. أيها الناس، من عرفني فقد عرفني، ومن لم يعرفني أنبأته بحسبي ونسبي. أنا ابن مكة ومنى، أنا ابن زمزم والصفا، أنا ابن من حمل الركن بأطراف الردى، أنا ابن خير من ائتزر وارتدى، أنا ابن خير من انتعل واحتفى، أنا ابن خير من طاف وسعى، أنا ابن خير من حج ولبى، أنا ابن من حمل على البراق في الهوى، أنا ابن من أسري به من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى، أنا ابن من بلغ به جبرائيل سدرة المنتهى، أنا ابن من دنا فتدلى فكان قاب قوسين أو أدنى، أنا ابن من صلى عليه ملائكة السماء، أنا ابن من أوحى إليه الجليل ما أوحى، أنا ابن محمد المصطفى، أنا ابن علي المرتضى، أنا ابن من ضرب خراطيم الخلق حتى قالوا لا إله إلا الله، أنا ابن من ضرب بين يدي رسول الله بسيفين وطعن برمحين وهاجر الهجرتين وبايع البيعتين وقاتل ببدر وحنين ولم يكفر بالله طرفة عين. أنا ابن المؤيد بجبرائيل المنصور بميكائيل، أنا ابن المحامي عن حرم المسلمين وقاتل المارقين والناكثين والقاسطين والمجاهد أعداءه الناصبين، وأول من أجاب واستجاب لله ولرسوله من المؤمنين، وأول السابقين ومبيد المشركين وسهم من مرام الله على المنافقين ولسان حكمة العابدين وناصر دين الله وولي أمر الله وعلمة علمه، سمح سخي أبطحي رضي مقدام قاطع الأصلاب مفرق الأحزاب، أربطهم عنانا وأثبتهم جنانا وأمضاهم عزيمة وأشدهم شكيمة، أسد باسل يطحنهم في الحروب إذا ازدلفت الأسنة وقربت الأعنة، طحن الرحى ليث الحجاز وكبش العراق، مكي مدني بدري أحدي شجري مهاجري، من العرب سيدها ومن الوغى ليثها، وارث المشعرين وأبو السبطين الحسن والحسين، ذاك هو جدي علي بن أبي طالب. أنا ابن فاطمة الزهراء، أنا ابن سيدة النساء، أنا ابن الطهر البتول، أنا ابن بضعة الرسول، أنا ابن أنا ابن المرمل بالدماء، أنا ابن صاحب هذا الرأس ذبيح كربلاء.
قد بدأت تتلقى جزاء بغيك يا يزيد. اصرخ كما يحلو لك، فقد حان لك أن تتألم. اصرخ. فوالله لا تمحو ذكرنا ولا تميت وحينا ولا يسقط عنك عار ما فعلت. فما رأيك إلا فند، وأيامك إلا عدد، وما جمعك إلا بدد. يوم ينادي المنادي: ألا لعنة الله على الظالمين.
We now listen to the special Arbaeen Maqtal titled The Victory of Blood, the Legacy of Clarification. This is the narrative of return. The caravan comes back to Karbala. Tears fall. Graves are embraced. Truth is reborn. This Maqtal draws from the earliest and most authentic Shia sources and is available for full reading at www.themartyr.net.
In the name of the one whose throne trembled when Husayn fell, the one who buried the Quran beneath spears so the world would remember it in chains. Where were you? Where were you when the night descended and the smoke of looted tents replaced the clouds? When the winds, heavy with blood, could no longer carry the cries of orphans to heaven? The battlefield lay still, but not silent, for the earth itself was sobbing. There were bodies, and the bodies had no shrouds. And the shrouds had been torn, and the torn cloth had been stolen, even from the slain. Zaynab sat beneath the sky that had once shaded the Prophet. She sat beside the severed limbs of her brothers, gathering children whose cries were hoarse with thirst. I was not there, but I remember. I remember the moan of Ruqayyah in her sleep. I remember the stillness of Abbas's arms. I remember the headless torso that still glowed even in death. I was not there, but I inherited that night like a sword passed through time. You who claim to walk for Husayn, have you walked through fire? Have you spent the night beside burned tents, listening to widows cough in the smoke and a dying horse kneel beside a body no longer its master? The tents of Muhammad were looted, and the Quran was stained, and not a single grave was dug. And I, the one they wait for, waited. Behind the veils of Ghaiba, I cried for the unveiled. Behind the curtain of time, I wept with the timeless. And the sky that had once split at the call of Iqra, now split again, not in light, but in grief. They tied iron to what the angels would not touch. They chained the wrists of Sajjad, wrists that still trembled with fever, wrists that once held the Quran as a child holds the sky. They led him like a criminal through the dust where his father fell. The dust still wet with blood, still sacred, but not to them. Behind him followed the orphans, and behind them Zaynab. Oh my aunt, oh mountain veiled in fire, how did you carry them? You who had just washed your brother's blood from your hands, now dragged through the desert as a spoil of war. Their spears bore heads, their spears bore joy, their spears bore Islam's most honored flesh as trophies. They marched through the ruins of prophecy. The river looked away. The palm trees wept in silence. No Quran was recited, for the Quran was bleeding, and the reciters had joined the murderers. A child asked, "Will they take us to our grandfather's city now?" Zaynab said nothing. She only adjusted her torn chador and held her silence like a sword. Oh my Shia, when you carry banners on Arbaeen, do you carry this day? When you place your feet on the road from Najaf to Karbala, do you feel the road from Karbala to Kufa beneath your heels? For on that road, Islam was dragged in chains, and you weep for Husayn, but do you march for Sajjad? Do you walk for the ones who walk that path in shackles? Without water, without shoes, without a single soul in the crowd to shout, Labbaik. The wind called their names, but the people shut their windows. Only the sky bore witness, and I, the son of the one they slaughtered, I too walked beside them, unseen, but vowing never to forget. They brought the Sabaya into Kufa not as guests, nor even as prisoners, but as a spectacle. They were made to wait at the gate while the crowd assembled to gawk and gloat. Children threw stones, old men spat. Women who had written letters of loyalty now whispered insults from behind veils of shame. They did not see the family of the Prophet. They saw the vanquished. Inside the palace, the blood still stained the spears, but already the court had returned to laughter. Ibn Ziyad reclined like a jackal at ease. Soft pillows beneath the feet that had trampled the Quran. The severed head of Husayn sat in a dish before him. He poked its lips with his staff. Zaynab was veiled in dust and fire, her robe torn, her body weary, but her stance was thunder. And when he mocked her lineage, she did not flinch. Do you mock us because God granted us a test? O son of the freed ones, you have not cut us down, you have only exposed yourself. He struck the staff again and turned to the youth in chains. Who are you? He snarled. And the boy, the sick one, the one whose body had failed him, but whose soul was the flame of Wilayah, raised his chin. I am Ali, son of Husayn, son of Ali, son of Abu Talib. I am the son of the one they slaughtered beside the river you now drink from. I am the son of the one you abandoned with your tongue, then betrayed with your swords. A silence fell. Even the spears seemed ashamed. The tyrant clenched his teeth, but did not strike, because in that moment he knew he had been exposed. O my people, what sermons do you recite when the pulpit is safe? What khutbahs do you deliver when the tyrant is dead? But Zaynab stood before the wolf while his teeth still glistened with blood. And Sajjad spoke while chains bit into his flesh. That is Tabyin. And you wait for the Imam of your time to return with angels and swords. But have you spoken while the blade was raised? Have you clarified truth while it was still unpopular? While it cost you comfort or dignity? O Kufa, you wore the cloak of Islam, but forgot the Prophet's scent. O my Shia, what cloak do you wear now? they did not take them by the shortest path. No, they paraded them from village to village, market to market. The family of the Prophet, shown off like trophies, like criminals, like beasts captured from a rebellion. The roads from Kufa to Damascus twisted like a whip, and every lash left a scar. Sajjad walked with chains that bruised the bone. Zaynab walked with memories that would never fade. The children walked barefoot through towns, through stones instead of bread. In some cities they were cursed, in others pitied, and in a few a veil was lifted. An old woman fainted when she saw the head of Husayn, recognizing the Prophet's face in its profile. A Christian monk lit incense and offered prayers, but these moments were rare and quickly silenced. The sun beat down upon the Sabaya, but not as harshly as the eyes of those who knew but remained silent. O people of the minarets, O lovers of recitation, did you not hear the Quran being recited from the lips on the spear? A child fell in the dust. She had not eaten for 3 days. A soldier kicked her forward. Zaynab shielded her, with arms already purple from bruises. No water, no shade, no dignity. They passed through Raqqa, Mosul, Aleppo, cities that would later boast their allegiance. But at the time, not a single stone was thrown at the oppressors. And I walk behind them, behind the one whose tears soaked the chains, behind the one whose sermon pierced the palace, behind the orphan who would never again laugh. I counted every step, every groan, every scar, and I have not forgotten. O walkers of Arbaeen, do you walk in honor of Zaynab's march? Or have you turned her chains into garlands, her bruises into banners? Do you know the route she took, the dust she swallowed, the humiliation she bore? Or have you made your walk a ritual? but left your loyalty behind. The palace rose like a scar in the heart of Damascus. Pillars carved by wealth stolen from widows. Walls draped in silk, while orphans wept in the alleys outside. And into this palace they brought the Savaya. They entered through a gate too low to carry dignity. The heads of the martyrs went first, raised on spears, shadows falling upon the marble like curses. The women followed, bareheaded, bruised, veils torn by soldiers, not by time. And then the boy, Ali, son of Husayn, his back bent, not by age, but by chains. Yazid sat atop a throne built from the ashes of the Prophet's city. He wore black as mockery. He smiled as theatre. He turned to the severed head before him and poked its lips with a staff made from cane. The courtiers laughed. The crowd clapped. And the angels recorded every breath. Zaynab rose, her body weary, her robe tattered, but her eyes, those were the eyes of Haydar. And the court stilled. O Yazid, do you think this victory is yours? You have only bared your teeth to the world, not your strength. You have spilled the blood of the Prophet's family, but not silenced the cause. I see nothing today but the disgrace of falsehood and the triumph of truth. Her words shook the chandeliers, and Yazid, drunk on illusion, turned to Sajjad. Boy, speak if you dare. And speak he did. I am the son of Mecca and Mina. I am the son of the one struck by revelation in the cave of Hira. I am the son of Fatima Zahra, the master of all women of the world. You ask who I am, O Yazid. I am the grandson of the one whose name you invoke in your false Adhaan, yet whose family you paraded in chains. The tyrant did not speak again that day. O people of sorrow, you gather in Damascus to visit Sayyidah Zaynab, but do you speak when Yazid lives again? When he changes flags but not intention? Do you cry in her courtyard while silent in your own? Or you who claim to love the Ahlulbayt? They stood in courts that wanted them dead. And you hesitate in rooms that only want you uncomfortable. This is the measure of loyalty. This is tabyin. She dreamed in chains. Her wrists were bruised by iron. Her hair tangled in grief. Her ribs pressed against cold stone. But still she dreamed. O daughter of Husayn, O Ruqayya, in the darkness of that cursed prison in Sham, you whispered, "Where is my father?" And the sky held its breath. The stars leaned closer, and even the stones of Yazid's court trembled at your plea. They brought you his head wrapped in a cloth, soiled with dust and dried blood, a relic of Karbala, delivered to break your spirit. But you wept, not with fear, but with love. You did not scream. You held his severed head to your chest, kissed it gently, and fell asleep in the arms of your Imam. What palace can contain such light? Even I, the son of sorrow and the banner of vengeance, tremble when I remember the sound of your final breath. Oh, my Aunt Zaynab, how did your soul not shatter as you watched her tiny frame go still? Oh, my father Sajjad, how did you not tear the heavens open when they laid her body in the prison yard? Buried without ghusl, without shroud, without farewell. She died as she lived, alone in this world, but surrounded by angels. She died as she lived, small in body, mighty in truth. O you, O oppressor, you thought you would silence the child, but her grave became a minbar, and her tears became fire. The walls of your palace still echo her name, and I, the son of that broken caravan, still walk the earth carrying her voice. O Ruqayya, on the day of return you shall rise, not in chains, but wrapped in light, and the Ummah will be judged by how it treated you. They dragged them into his court. Chains still clung to their necks, dust still clung to their robes, and the echoes of Karbala still clung to their very breath. The blood was not dry, the grief was not buried, the crime was still fresh, and yet he sat on his throne laughing. Oh Yazid, you called it victory, you called it conquest, you said my forefathers fought Muhammad and now I have avenged them. You touched the lips of my father with your cane, you defiled the head of the one whose name makes the heavens weep, and still, you thought that you had won. But you made one mistake. You let Zaynab speak. And when she rose, the palace walls shook, not from her voice, but from the truth it carried. She did not shout, she did not plead, she unveiled with the courage of Zahra, with the fury of Haydar, with the grief of every prophet's mother. She looked into your eyes and said, do you think, O Yazid, that you have torn our honor, that you have degraded us? By God, you have only exposed your own shame. Trickery is short-lived. The days are counted, and the banner of justice shall rise. And you, tyrant of your time, you tremble, not before an army, but before a woman in chains. Oh, my Aunt Zaynab, you taught the minbar how to bleed. You taught the Ummah how to speak when silence becomes betrayal. And Sajjad, the broken Imam, followed your voice with his own. Oh people, I am the son of Mecca and Mina. I am the son of Fatima and Ali. I am the son of the one slain by the Euphrates, whose body was left without a shroud. Every word was a wound open, every sentence a sword unsheathed. And Yazid, he looked for the exit. He offered apologies, he feigned regret, he tried to return to the Ahlulbayt with honor. But we do not barter with false kings, and the wounds of Husayn are not soothed by gifts. The Sabaya left his palace, but his name remains a curse on every tongue of truth. And so we return, not in triumph, not in procession, but in silence. Like birds who left their nest in flame and returned to ashes. It was the 40th day. The wind still carried the scent of blood. The Euphrates still flowed, as though it had forgotten whom it had denied. Oh, my grandfather, oh, Husayn, we returned not to honor you, but to seek forgiveness for leaving you. We returned not to bury the past, but to kneel beside it. Zaynab stepped onto the plain. She had left this place with fire in her eyes, but now she fell to her knees and whispered, "Oh brother, I have fulfilled the trust. I preserved the message. I carried your voice through the streets of the tyrant. But I could not protect them all. And Sajjad, oh my father Sajjad, he stood at the grave of his father and he wept, as though every tear was a verse of the Quran. Peace be upon you, O one whose blood was spilled for the truth. Peace be upon you, O light of God on the earth. We buried Ruqayya in Shia. We buried Ali Asghar in your chest. But we buried our childhood here, beneath your feet, beside your thirsty standard. The desert, once red, was now silent. But the silence was not peace, it was witness. And we walked the land barefoot, one step for each drop you shed. One step for every promise broken by this ummah. Oh Husayn, we brought no gift, we brought no answer, only broken hearts and scarred memories, only trembling tongues still trying to say Labbaik, even if late, Labbaik, even if broken, Labbaik, even if we were not among the 72. Oh my followers, oh my lovers in the east and the west, Arbaeen is not a ritual, it is a reckoning, it is a whisper in the dust. Will you walk to me, even now? And then we returned home, if you could call it that. Medina, the city of light, the cradle of Quran, the resting place of the Prophet. It did not shine that day. It wept. The streets that once echoed with Ya Rasulullah now fell silent as the broken caravan entered. No banners, no fanfare, only the sound of chains and the flutter of garments worn in grief. The doors opened, the people gathered, but no one could speak. They saw Fatima's children without Husayn. They saw the family of revelation without Ali Akbar, without Qasim, without Abbas. And then the news spread. The sword had not just struck the body of Husayn, it had struck the soul of the Ummah. My father, Zayn al-Abidin, stood at the mosque, not to seek vengeance, but to revive the dead hearts of the living. O people of Medina, he said, we left with light and returned with shadows. We left with 72 and returned with silence. We left with Husayn and returned with his memory. And Sayyidah Zaynab, what tongue can describe her? She entered her mother's house and fell to the ground. O Zahra, she whispered, I did not bring back your Husayn, but I brought his message. This same Medina has never recovered. To this day, the air of Baqi trembles with unspoken sorrow. And I, your Mahdi, I carry that sorrow in my veins. I have not forgotten, nor will I forgive a world that let Husayn bleed alone, and then greeted his killers with silence. O people of the East and the West, when you visit Medina, do not seek comfort, seek awakening. And when you say, Ya Mahdi, know that I am still weeping for that return, which was never a return at all. O Husayn, they ask why I have not yet risen. They weep for my delay. They blame the heavens or fate or the sins of others. But the truth is what I whisper to you now, in your shrine, in the wind between Najaf and Karbala, in the footsteps of those who still believe. I did not hide because I feared. I was veiled because the world refused to see. You rose with 72, but I still await my 313. When I hear your name used by those who uphold thrones, not truth, when I see your lovers divided by arrogance or scholars for hire, when I watch Gaza burn, Syria drown, and the faithful walk to Karbala, but forget to walk with Karbala. Oh, my grandfather, they call me the awaited, but I am the one who waits. I wait for you at the graves of the unknown. I wait for you in the alleys of Baqi. I wait for you in the lamplit halls of Qum, where truth is still taught with trembling hand. I wait beside God's helpers in Yemen and the yellow banners of steadfast Lebanon. I wait in the shattered homes of Gaza, where mothers recite Quran over rubble and bone. I wait in the courtrooms of London, where justice is gagged and truth wears a prisoner's tag. I wait in the dungeons of Washington, where empires crush the pure before they speak. And I wait in the eyes of every broken child who asks, where is justice? You taught us that love must rise, that faith must roar, that silence when truth is trampled is betrayal. And so I whisper now, not to the wind, but to you, O Ummah. If you truly love Husayn, then become clarifiers for his cause. If you walk in Arbaeen, then walk towards his vengeance. If you seek the Mahdi, then become the answer you ask for. Oh Husayn, my sword is not rusted, my hand is not tied, but I will not rise with a caravan of sleepers. I will rise when Zaynab's voice becomes the voice of her followers, when Sajjad's chains become the sermons of the scholars, when every Arbaeen is not a march of mourning, but a movement of awakening. Until then, I whisper your name in every age and in every time. Someone answers. And from him alone is all ability, and he has authority over all things.
We now enter into lamentation, not of grief alone, but of loyalty. Each Nohe recited today draws from the legacy of the Sabaya, or the caravan of captives, those who wept while walking, who bled without wounds, who bore chains heavier than iron, the chains of truth. Today's Nohas are I Am Ashamed, Zayn al-Abidin, and Ya Zaynab. You can visit these laments and access the entire archive of sacred mornings at www.shiasounds.com.
Alas, all the vows that I took in my youth are lost, my love, my heart. It forgot how to hold to the blessed rope of truth. Oh, how I wasted all my youth, foolishly fled the word of truth. Yet here I stand as like a proof. For your open arms do not accuse. I have betrayed you, my first love. I am ashamed, Husayn. Oh, tell me, what have I become? For I am ashamed, Husayn. For me you gave your precious blood. Now I am ashamed, Husayn, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah. My love, I remember your pain and your broken heart, Husayn. You showed me the path that the morning would gain. If I wasn't brave like sweet Abbas, I was disarmed by foolishness. My eyes were blinded by my nafs. Yet neath your flag I stand at last. Hear my prayer, raise it aloft, for I am ashamed to say, how can I ever bear the cost? For I am ashamed, Husayn. Without your love I'm surely lost. I am ashamed, Husayn, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah. My voice has been silent and fearful when I should have spoken aloud for you. My eyes were averted when they should have witnessed your holy truth. But I didn't stand like these Zaynab. I wore shackles of worldliness instead. On new horizons there is spread nothing but Ashura ahead. Let me recite your eulogies, for I am ashamed, Husayn. Let me rejoice in unity, for I am ashamed, Husayn. Oh, let me breathe your sanctity, for I am ashamed, Husayn. Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah. The lost, the oppressed and the orphans, the souls of loneliness, their tears I ignored through my hard-hearted carelessness. I didn't defend Ali Azra. I didn't have love within my arms. My soul is wounded and so scarred. So now I cry out to my Lord, Ya Rabbi, Ya Sayyidi, I am ashamed, Husayn, Ya Nur, Ya Quddus, I am ashamed, Husayn, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, I am ashamed, Husayn, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah, Aba Abdillah. Aba Abdillah. Rejoice, for Allah, He has opened the door and He will forgive Husayn. How He opens our hearts and He gives us the hope to live. Oh, let us learn from our Husayn, lest Ashura should be in vain. At Karbala, that dreadful plain, nothing but beauty our refrain. Every tear shed at your grave means there's no shame, Hussain. Every beat upon my chest means there's no shame, Hussain. All of the mention of your name means there's no shame, Hussain. Rejoice, for Allah, He has opened the door and He will forgive Husayn. How He opens our hearts and He gives us the hope to live. Oh, let us learn from our Husayn, lest Ashura should be in vain. At Karbala, that dreadful plain, nothing but beauty our refrain. Every tear shed at your grave means there's no shame, Hussain. Every beat upon my chest means there's no shame, Hussain. All of the mention of your name means there's no shame, Hussain. Aba Abdillah, 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 Aba Abdillah. al-Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. Zayn al-Abidin, sweet Zayn al-Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. From the plain of Karbala, you were dragged so far, shackled with wicked chains, inflicted with such pain, never eyes could see how they tortured thee, how blood fell on your hand amidst the sweltering sand. Zaynul Abidin, sweet Zaynul Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. For what crime were you taken there? How could they be so unfair? Your crime was to call for Islam, for the benefit of man. They dragged you from town to town. They tried to bring you down. They tried to break your will, and in your mind defeat instill. Zaynul Abidin, sweet Zaynul Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. In the court of cursed Yazid attacked you, they surely did. Zaynab protected you as your illness weakened you to fight another day was the only way to save the message of Allah. You surely suffered so. Zaynul Abidin, sweet Zaynul Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. For years oppression would stand, forgotten that wicked sand of loathsome Karbala, where innocents murdered were. No place was ever safe for the Ahlulbayt. So lonely, abandoned you stood for the sake of good. Zaynul Abidin, sweet Zaynul Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. His gentle whispered prayers fill the poisoned air. His psalms of sweet Adhaan preserved our precious deen. The pain and scars he bore, the miseries he saw, inflamed the holy zeal. God-centered prayer would heal. Zaynul Abidin, sweet Zaynul Abidin, forever tears will flow, for he suffered so. The times of shackled pain, the days of wicked shame, echo from age to age, and must our hearts enrage to loose the sinful chains, to free ourselves from pain. We must seek out the truth, we must embrace the proof. Zaynul Abidin, sweet Zaynul Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. The hidden one is near, he calls to rise from fear. He waits for us to wake, his banner for to take. Prayers of Zayn al-Abidin, a staff on which we lean. They guide, they teach, they lead the Ummah of Tawheed. Zayn al-Abidin, sweet Zayn al-Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. Zayn al-Abidin, sweet Zayn al-Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. Zayn al-Abidin, sweet Zayn al-Abidin, forever tears will flow, for you suffered so. Ya Zaynab, voice of the oppressed. Ya Zaynab, champion of the blessed, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek. Holy Zaynab, holy Zaynab, see the path in the dust, dragged across the sand, burning the searing heat, walking hand in hand, shackled by heavy chain, woman and child, wounded and traumatized, tortured and defiled, dragged from place to place. Their aim was to disgrace people, Jude and stared. Curses they declared, curses they declared, curses they declared. Ya Zaynab, voice of the oppressed. Ya Zaynab, champion of the blessed, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek. Holy Zaynab, holy Zaynab, midst the crowd, shadow-like, hearing what they say, cheering and mockingly, children laugh and play. Know they not who it is midst this caravan, guardianless, burdened, displayed before all Sham. Cry they, alas, where is Abbas? Cry they, alas, where is Abbas? Where is Abbas? Where is Abbas? Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, voice of the oppressed. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, champion of the blessed, guardian of the meek, mother of the weak, mother of the meek, guardian of the weak, holy Zaynab, holy Zaynab. Zaynab now enters the court of Yazid. Demons cry out his name, praising all his deeds. Say they see what Allah's done to your Husayn. Mock Zaynab boastfully cursed her blessed name. Laughing and jeering at Zayn al-Abidin. Shadowy witnesses weeping at the scene. What is in their hearts? Faith it plays no part. Evilness and sin, all that is within. Betrayed they Zaynab, betrayed they Zaynab. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, voice of the oppressed. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, champion of the blessed, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek, holy Zaynab, holy Zaynab. Bloody and beaten, chains tear at their flesh, wounds that will never heal witness their distress. Step forward, Ali, Zayn al-Abidin, cries out, oh, gaze at me, what face have you seen? Do you not recognize the son of Fatima from the first of the first, holy Mustafa? See no resemblance to the face of Murtada. I am the son of Makkah and Mina. See you, the offspring of Zamzam and Safa, son of sweet Husayn, slaughtered on that plain. Naught but blood and sand on your governor's hands. Curse then Yazid, curse then Yazid. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, voice of the oppressed. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, champion of the blessed, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek, holy Zaynab, holy Zaynab. Midst all the blood and dust, sorrow and the jeers, silence, for then descends the fragrance of her tears. Faces contorted as on the judgment day, shamelessly witnessing evil on display. Zaynab's cries out, oh, reflect on all your deeds. arrogant, murderous, in who will you plead? A prophet set men free, justice he decreed. Allah may delay, but surely he repay. Trust in Allah, trust in Allah. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, voice of the oppressed. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, champion of the blessed. Guardian of the weak, mother of the meek. Guardian of the weak, mother of the meek. Holy Zaynab, Holy Zaynab. Son of the freed ones, you swagger without shame. You cover your women, but the prophets you defame. You've ordered the torment of the holy and the chaste, and at Karbala lie the bodies of the blessed. You pulled your own skin and you cut off your own flesh. For I see the victory of the righteous and oppressed. Though misery abound, victory can be found. Joy for the serene, beauty's all I've seen. For holy Ashura, Alhamdulillah. For holy Ashura, Alhamdulillah. 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 Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, voice of the oppressed. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, guardian of the blessed. Guardian of the weak, mother of the meek. Guardian of the weak, mother of the meek. Holy Zaynab, Holy Zaynab. Zaynab, witness to the message of Tabyin, clarifies the battle against the vile Mustakbirin, the flag of resistance, the cloak of Al-Kisar. Zaynab, she leads the charge, the scream from Ashura. Though heads may be severed and bodies torn apart, children lay tortured, oh, witness Karbala. Yet I see in the distance a warrior afar, a grandson of eternity, the Hujjah of Allah. He'll cast off all the change, avenger of Husayn. Our tears must now be swords to taste this blessed reward. For beauty to be seen, we must be warriors of Tabyin, Mujahid of Tabyin, Mujahid of Tabyin. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, voice of the oppressed. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, champion of the blessed. Guardian of the weak, mother of the weak. Guardian of the weak, mother of the meek. Holy Zaynab, holy Zaynab. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, voice of the oppressed. Ya Zaynab, Ya Zaynab, champion of the blessed, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek, guardian of the weak, mother of the meek, holy Zaynab, holy
We now conclude with the communion of Arbaeen, a poetic and interpretive English rendering of Ziyarat Arbaeen. Crafted by the Truth Promoters Group, this is the first of its kind, not a literal translation, but a spiritual transmission. It is a whisper between the mourner and the martyred. It is a conversation between the tongue and the covenant. Let your soul respond. Let your heart bear witness. The full text and audio are available at www.shiasounds.com.
Peace be upon the friend of God, thrown not into fire by idol worshippers, but into silence by a nation who claimed to pray. Peace be upon the beloved, whose love was betrayed by those who lifted hands in prayer, yet turned their backs on the very soul of Tawheed. Peace be upon the purified, son of the pure, light of Zahra's sorrow and Ali's soul, whose blood was spilt by hands that moved in prayer, but never trembled at the thought of God. Peace be upon the son of the purified, the fruit of Zahra's broken ribs, the soul of the Prophet's prayer. Peace be upon the child of light, who stood like Ibrahim amidst the idols, yet found no miracle to cool the flames, only the silence of a nation that once wept at his birth. Peace be upon the one who was seen not by tyrant, but by his mother, as each arrow stole a breath, and each scream of a thirsty child tore the veil between Karbala and the unseen. And woe to the scholars of memorized Qur'ans whose hands forgot its meaning. Woe to the men who bartered eternity for a kingdom they never received. O people of prayer, where was your love when the head of Husayn was raised on a spear? Peace be upon the oppressed martyr, whose crime was truth, whose sentence was silence, whose judge was the Ummah that once kissed his lips. Saint Mary wept beneath a cross for a son who was made to appear slain. Sayyidah Zahra wept from the unseen for a son who truly was. One was spared by divine will, one was trampled by a nation of veiled hearts. You loved them, you guided them, you forgave them, and they answered with swords. And now I tremble, not at your oppressors, but at the mirror of my own delay. Am I one who mourns, or one who moves? Do I raise your banner, or let it fall to keep the approval of pharaohs in suits? My arm weakens. But my heart screams, I will not betray you, O Shaheed. I will not greet your name with tears and meet your cause with excuses. I bear witness that you established the prayer not only with limbs, but with love. That you built its sanctuary not in stone, but in the soul, and taught hearts how to kneel, even as swords circled your throat. You gave to the beggar, the orphan, the fugitive, not from excess, but from hunger, and said, we desire no reward, only the face of God. You taught what was right, warned against what destroys, and obeyed not your soul, but the one who shaped it. Until the end, until the certainty, until the head fell and still the tongue moved. And I say these words with trembling lips, drowning in sins, ashamed to be heard by you. Yet I see a hand, not of blame, but of love. The hand of your Son, the hand of the awaited. And I hear a voice that says, rise, repent, return. The prayer must still be established, the sword must still be sheathed in justice, the banner must still be raised. Be not afraid, for the sons of Mary and Husayn will walk again, and they will ask, were you with us or with them? He gave his blood, not for land, not for throne, but to pull us from the quicksand of ignorance and the wasteland of misguidance. He offered the child, the son, the brother, each drop of love poured out to cleanse our hearts of arrogance and blindness. And I wallow in self-love, draped in the filth of excuses, while his hand still reaches out from the unseen. Come, he whispers, you are not beyond salvation. I weep for the mothers who hide their poverty in shame, while pulpits demand payment to speak in his name. I rage against the sellers of salvation, who make merchandise of mercy, who drug the people with dead words, while the children of Gaza die unnamed. O son of Zahra, you sought not to rule, but to lift the veils from the eyes of men. You died to raise a people who would carry truth like fire in their palms. And I swear by the blood on the sand, by the tears of your sister, by the cry of your son, I will not sleep, I will not sell, I will not surrender. Until we complete your mission or die upon its path. Among them are those who fulfilled their vow, and among them are those who await. Yet they did not change in the least. They tore your limbs, not in the heat of war, but in the coldness of injustice. The sword did not tremble, the hands did not flinch, the hearts did not feel. Like Jesus, like Yahya, like the prophets they beheaded, they butchered you, not because you failed, but because you would not bow. And the severing continues in bombs dropped on nurseries, in clinics turned into crematoriums, in wombs where life is declared inconvenient, in nursing homes turned into graveyards by the children they raised. Oh, Husayn, I see your body in every corpse crushed beneath progress. I see your ribs in every soul broken by betrayal. I see your blood in every sin I commit, while wearing your name on my lips. But I also hear a voice, not of shame, but of invitation. If your limbs are torn by sin, bind them with repentance. If your heart is fractured, let it beat again for truth. The Mahdi calls, the rope of God still hangs. The door is still open, and though I am unworthy, I will walk through it because this is the way. This is the way. He was killed by those who Islam had raised, not by strangers, but by the memorizers of the Quran, not by idol worshippers, but by those who bowed without bowing within. And I weep, not only for Husayn, but for the terrifying truth that I could be one of them. I speak of tabyin, but do I clarify for myself? Or do I cover truth with commentary and call my betrayals scholarship? I look in the mirror and I see Umar ibn Sa'ad whispering, Ray is worth it. I fall to my knees, unable to stand before Zahra, with the blood of a child on my hands. But then, a voice, a flag, a cry from the distance. I see the sun rising in the west. I see Sajjad upright in chains. I see Zaynab undefeated in sorrow. And I see him, I see him, I see him, the son of Husayn, my master, the ache in my soul, the Yusuf of Zahra. And I cry, do not let me fall. If they beat me, strengthen me. If they tempt me, blind me. If I forget, remind me. O Lord, train me in love. Crucify my ego and make me roar against injustice, so that the name, your name, and your name alone is always the most high. I bear witness not with tongue alone, but with this trembling soul, that I am with you, in peace and in war, in silence and in storm, in public and in secret. Though my hands have strayed, though my eyes have wandered, though I have failed you more times than I dare to count, still I say, I am with you. And if my hands betray you, I will sever them. If my eyes deceive you, I will blind them. All I want is a glance, one glance from the Yusuf of Zahra, one glance from the Mahdi in occultation, one glance from the heart of the Prophet that will say, you are not forgotten. My wealth is yours, my family is yours, my blood, my breath, my voice, my everything is yours. If they strike your wali, let me be the shield. If they curse him, let me be the tongue that answers. If they aim arrows at his chest, let me be the one who stands and takes them, until there is nothing left but dust. And if I must be torn, cut, burned, and torn again 1,000,000 times over, I will not flinch. Because to stand with Sayyid Ali is to stand with you. To defend your representative is to kiss the feet of your grandfather. And to stand with your blood is to stand with God. This is my covenant, my allegiance, my vow. If I break it, O God, cast me from your mercy. For what good is paradise without the smile of Husayn? With you, never with your enemy. No matter how far I fall, no matter how dark the night, I will never stand with those who profit from your wounds and wear your name like a mask. I want nothing from them. No alliances, no truce, no tolerance. How can I share breath with those who sell your blood for silver soaked in children's screams? How can I ever trust the ones who betrayed Husayn, not to betray the Mahdi? I will fight them, expose them, pray that God casts them from the shade of his mercy until they awaken or perish. They speak of heaven and buy homes with crocodile tears. But how will they pass the gate when Ali stands there with a sword and a book of names? I am not with them, not with the tyrants, not with the bankers who enslave, not with the politicians who kneel to capital, not with the scholars who have forgotten how to weep. If they cut me, burn me, tear me to pieces 1,000,000 times, I will not relent. My allegiance is eternal in this world and the next. And if I must fall into hell for my sins, even from its depths, I will cry, where are you, O hope of the believers? O Lord of Husayn, if I am to live, let it be for truth. If I am to die, let it be for loyalty. Take me before I betray the ones I love, before I shame the eyes of Zahra. All that I have and all that I am, I place at your feet. My soul is yours, my heart is yours, my body is yours, my strength, my weakness, my voice, my silence, my hands, my feet, my opinions, my desires, even my shame, all yours. I come with nothing, I come as dust, I come as sin upon sin, tremble upon tremble, still hoping you will not cast me away. For though I am broken, I am yours. I am oppressed by my own crimes, but I rise as an enemy to the oppressor. And I swear, if you know that I am false, then destroy me, burn me, scatter me into fire. But if you know my love is true, then make me worthy. Shield me from myself, guide me from their plots, and let me serve, even if only to sweep the earth where the Mahdi walks. Let me be one whose breath brings joy to Zahra. Let me be one whose whisper does not shame Ali. Let me be one whose love makes Husayn smile, even once. Oh my Lord, I am yours, I am theirs. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. I saw nothing but beauty, said Zaynab in chains, while I crumble at the weight of smaller griefs. Teach me to see as she saw, to love as she loved, to rise as she rose, undefeated, unveiled, unafraid. I see Sajjad greeting his father's severed head with peace, whispering the verse of the cave, reminding us that the sleepers will wake and Mahdi shall rise. And I see the abused mother of the Mahdi, insulted like Maryam, her rights stolen, her dignity shattered, her pain buried in our silence. They said they loved the Prophet while tearing apart his daughter. They said they worshipped God while slaughtering his light. And still, today, the child killers of Gaza are blessed by the priests of empire, the murderers of Hind Rajab are praised by politicians who smile through genocide. But we have not forgotten. The graves of the martyrs whisper, the tears of children echo in the Arbaeen march, and the Mahdi hears every cry. Divine love is not poetry. It is protest. It is protection. It is standing in front of the bullet and daring it to pass. I see the people of Bahrain, of Yemen, of Nigeria, of Lebanon, of Syria, of the broken homes and broken hearts. And I scream, where is the justice you promised, O Lord of Husayn? I remember the Risalat al-Huquq, the charter of rights that Sajjad gave the world. And I vow I will not forget the right of the poor. I will not forget the right of the prisoner. I will not forget the right of the child. If Mahdi is delayed because of me, then let me be reshaped, burned, broken, reformed, but not left behind. Let me be the soil beneath his feet. Let me shield him like the lovers of Karbala shielded Husayn during prayer. And in his absence, let me never doubt his flag bearer. Let me serve the Wali al-Faqih with such loyalty that my hands move before his voice finishes the sentence. If I cannot follow the one who represents him, how can I claim to follow him? Let me die before I betray the trust. Kill me, O Lord, before I become a wound in the heart of Mahdi. I have come broken and sinful to this grave of fire and fragrance. I do not bring perfection. I bring longing. I bring wounds. I bring the ache that would not let me sleep. I bring a promise sealed in pain, carved in tears, that I will not betray you, O Husayn. This world did not deserve you, and I have not yet made myself worthy of your dust. But still I crawl to you from behind veils of shame and whisper, will you accept me? I am not from the 72. I am not from the pure. I am not from the brave. But I am from the broken. And the broken have always belonged to you. Let me weep at your grave until my heart becomes clean. Let me whisper your name until my soul remembers who it was. Let me walk in your shadow until the sun of Mahdi rises and burns away the night. And if I die before that dawn, bury me near your lovers. Mark my grave with no name. Just write upon it, this one tried. O my Lord, O Rahman, O Rahim, accept this whisper. Accept this march. accept this communion. For you alone are the goal, and you alone remain. And from him alone is all ability, and he has authority over all things.
As we lower the banners of Arbaeen, we do not lower our resolve. Husayn is not a memory, he is a movement, and every movement has a direction, a family, a legacy. We thank you for being with us during these nights and on this sacred day. All lectures, couplets, verses, Maqtals, and nohas from this year's Truth Promoters Group Arbaeen 2025 program are now available online. For lectures, visit www.reflections313.com. For the Maqtals, visit www.themartyr.net. For nohes and communions, visit www.shiasounds.com. And for verses and couplets, visit www.islamicdigest.org. Coming soon, our next series, Fatimiyya 2025. We will return for Fatimiyya, the commemoration of the martyrdom of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra, peace be upon her. This new series will explore the family in Islamic thought, drawing from the Quran, Hadith, Risalatul Hukuk of Imam al-Sajjad, the Sahifa Sajjadiyya, and the teachings of Imam Khomeini, Imam Khamenei, and the Maraji. It will be a reflection not only on family, but on fidelity, loyalty, and love in the age of fracture. We pray that you will join us again with open hearts and illuminated minds. Until then, peace be upon her whose heart was torn from sorrow, whose right was usurped. Peace be upon you, O Husayn, and may God's peace and blessings be upon you all and upon all of God's righteous servants.